Liana, and I've been acting for 7 years, and I recently played Annelle from Steel Magnolias. Growing up, I was dancing every summer. Kailangan we would join some dance class and everything. It was quite accidental how I discovered I loved acting, actually. Because in school, I used to be part of the dance troupe, but that got cut. So I had to look for another club to join. And I knew I wanted to perform, so I joined the drama club. It was a whole new world, and I loved it. That's when I realized, this is something that I could be good at. My inclination towards dancing came from my family. But theater was something like sa ako lang. My sister was also very much into theater, so that also influenced me. But generally, like, it was just me and my sister who's into theater, some of them. Theater people are a different breed. They're absolute nerds, and like, they're one of the best people you'll ever meet. Sounds like a very positive outlook, compared to like what people say in the industry, but I guess I just got lucky that I got to find really good company. 2018 Charon Mani, the closing night. I was one of the kids, and we were selling like Charon Mani, of course. And it was the closing night, and we were all like talking about how hard it is to be a kid selling, and instead of going to school, instead of playing. I looked at my co-actor, and she started crying. It wasn't supposed to be an emotional scene, but I started crying. It just became this whole thing where we were both crying on stage, and all the other smaller kids were just, what's going on? But it was a very nice, intimate moment. I really like Annelle. She's Annelle from Steel Magnolias, I really love her. It's because it was a very challenging role to portray, because in every scene, I'm a completely different person. The challenge there that I really liked was, how do all these Annelles from all 4 scenes, how does this just become one big Annelle? Like, what is the common ground between them? And I had a really fun time like trying to find that. I like the challenge of being Annelle. For me, like, character development doesn't just happen in the beginning of me getting a role. It actually unfolds as rehearsals go on, and even during the show. Like, it's still developing even when I'm already performing. There are new things and new lines that I didn't know were so important to her character, and there are new things that new aspects of the character that I didn't catch at the beginning. So it's really like the whole process is from start to the closing show. I don't want to rush into like characterization. I don't want to put them in a box right away. So it's just constantly like developing. Although I love the characters that I play very much, I detach myself as soon as the show is over, because that could really affect the way you play your next role. So when I try not to get too attached, because I might bring it with me on the next one. Mostly try to get over myself and the overthinking, and just, it is what it is. That's the mindset that you have to put, because you can't just linger on the challenges that facing all your mistakes. There's always this constant self-doubt lingering, but getting through it would not just require work for myself. I also had a lot of help from the people around me, and a lot of external reassurance. Your mind is a prison, so you need someone to get you out of it. As much as you want to help yourself, there's some times where you really have to admit you need help from the outside. I like to throw away everything before I get on stage. I think that's also helped me like focus, just, not give a shit. Of course, there's always going to be kulba, there's always gonna be that worry at the back of your head, like, oh, who's watching, what's, like, I'm afraid what's gonna happen. There are like a lot of inner monologues that just worry and worry and worry. But no, you just have to throw away everything. Just crumple it up into a ball and throw it at a cliffside in your head. And it works a lot. it is what it is. You can't really do anything about it if you make a mistake. I face criticism a lot all the time, especially like kanang when you're rehearsing and everything and the director gives you their notes, but like it's very constructive. And all you have like throughout rehearsals you're always like you're constantly given criticism and everything. And all you have to do is just say okay and take it and see what you can do about it. Criticism is very important. It makes you see things that you don't, you know, about yourself. So even if it's whether it's brutal or constructive, you have to just, you know, learn to take it instead of fighting back. A lot of the pressure when it comes to the theater industry, like that, generally, it has a lot to do with competition and competing with others. But I, for one, don't really feel the need to compete with other people. My gauge on having to prove myself to people is if I am satisfied with my role and if I've done my role right. I guess that takes a lot of weight off me. I just focus on myself, and that does a lot of good to my mental health. Na I just stay in my lane and work on the pace that works for me. Okay, this is fine. Dream roll. Dream roll. Joke. It was funnier in my head. My dream role is Esmeralda from The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I don't know, I just love the songs she sings in the musical. And whenever I see Esmeralda perform, I just bawl my eyes out. I don't know, I just love her so much. I'd like to say now one of my favorite roles is being the stage manager. I like to think of that as a role. I played Hannah Montana once in a school play. I did the Wicked Witch for Oz. Other than that, I did Charon Mani, and throughout the time between Charon Mani and Steel Magnolias, I've just been doing short gigs and stuff like that with Miss Sarah and Tutin Cans. And then we have Steel Magnolias. I guess my favorite part about Steel Magnolias is the friends and hanging out with all these wonderful women, and not just within the cast, but the crew as well. They're amazing. It felt very nice to just, you know, like at the end of a stressful day in school, I get to come to rehearsals and I get to interact with all these lovely women and to just let everything go at the end of the day. Never stop trying to learn new things. You know, don't stop trying to learn. Always like find books to read, plays to analyze, watch your favorite actors, their interviews, how they work around their characters. Also like be observant, like always like talk to people, interact, absorb everything, be a sponge. So, yan na siya.